Hey everybody, it's Bill Slocum at NC State University. In this short little video in my series of an Introduction to the National Park Service ArcGIS Online for Organizations series, I'm going to talk about creating a web map using existing web services and how you can search for other layers. A little housekeeping right quick. Neither the National Park Service nor NC State University endorses or recommends any commercial products, processes, or services. This material may not be used for advertising or product endorsement purposes. This material is intended for educational purposes only. Neither the U.S. government nor NC State University warrants or assumes any legal liability or responsibility for the accuracy, completeness, or usefulness of any information, apparatus, product, or process disclosed. Whew, oh, that's a mouthful. All right, so in this little short video, and this one should be short, I'm going to create a web map using existing services and show you how you can search for other layers outside of the National Park Service. There are different ways to add data to your web maps. You can use content that you've created in My Content. You can use content that other folks in the National Park Service has created by searching the organization. And you can also use ArcGIS Online. There's a living atlas. You can use data that's been vetted by Esri and the data steward and has been made available to you through this platform. Finally, save your map. Save early, save often. If you work on this, you want to save it because you're probably going to want to share this data with the people in your park or maybe some other regional personnel. But that's for a different time. Let's just talk about how to create a map. Well, the first thing you have to do there is go to your nps.maps.arcgis.com and log in. And again, you're going to use your National Park Service account, the one that's tied to your PIV card, and other National Park Service systems such as Bison Connect. All right, so let's get to the fun part. Now, I've already logged in. And you can see I've logged in up here and I've got my username and everything. And I am in My Content. And you'll notice that I don't have anything in here at the root level. I like to use folders to compartmentalize my work. So I want to create a new map right here in this folder. And I'm just going to give this Colonial National Historical Park base map. Now, this is not a base map like the topo map you see in ArcGIS Online underneath everything or the light gray canvas. This is something that the park is going to use as what they would use as a base map with their content, their park boundary, and that kind of stuff. Just putting some tags in. It's important to have tags. And sometimes those tags are already in there. And I'm going to use the same title as the summary. Now, you should be much more verbose than I am, but I just don't have a lot of time in these short little videos. And I'm going to save it in this folder and say OK. So it's going to go through. It's going to start bringing up the U.S. here, and this is what is typically called a base map in ArcGIS Online. But I'm going to add some data so that it is focused specifically on Colonial National Historical Park. Now, here's where you can search for layers in your content or your organization. You can browse the living atlas. You can add layers from the web if you know and you're familiar with REST service endpoints. You know, that's something you can look up and explore on your own. You can do that there, or you can add data from a layer from a file or map notes. I know a lot of folks in the Park Service like to use these map notes, and they're very, very useful for some applications. So I'm going to search for layers. And you'll see this find here. That's where those tags are very, very important. But I'm just going to search My Content. And here's how you can search all these different places. My organization, if you know a web server, ArcGIS Online, or the Living Atlas. I'm just going to use My Content here. So I've got a park boundary. I'm going to add that in. I'm going to add some trails. And I'm also going to put in some culverts. And let's put in the interpretive signs. Now, I'm done with this. Now, please remember that I had some services. You saw them there, and those are in My Content, and those are the services that I'm adding. I created the majority of these services that you're seeing here by sharing an ArcMap document. That's one technique to create a web service. Another technique is to upload a zipped shapefile. Now, the boundary kilometer markers, let me add that back in here. I didn't put that in by mistake here. Where's my kilometer markers? I should have them. Oh, there they are. I'm going to add those. All right. Done adding layers. Now, you'll see here that the layer name is exactly like the service name. We'll change that in a different video. But another thing I want you to do is be cognizant of the spatial extent. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. And there we go. I'm going to hold the Shift key down, and I'm going to draw a box around it. Now, all this is really predicated on your browser resolution and how big your browser is when people open these maps. So you know what? This is a good size right here for right now. You'll notice that I am going to click the Save button. I have a Save and a Save As. Let's just do Save to save all our work right now. But you could do Save As to just like you would in Word or PowerPoint or Excel or other applications you may use. Save As creates basically a copy. And you could use this base here, to start adding layers to. So you might want to create a facilities map, or you might want to create an inventory and monitoring map, or you might want to create a law enforcement map or an interp map, whatever you may want, but you want similar symbology to go from map to map, and this is a great technique to do that. Alright, and you know we've got attributes in here. I'm going to click on the park, and these attribute pop-ups display as they did when I created them. However, not all of them are the same, but customizing this display is for another time. So let's just recap real quickly what I have done. I started a new map in ArcGIS Online. I looked at data in my content. I could look at data in my organization, or I could look at those data in ArcGIS Online. I've added those to my display, and I've saved my map. So get started. Go to that URL right there, log in with your National Park Service credentials with your PIV card, start creating maps, and I'll teach you how to share those maps with other people in your park at another time. All right, thanks a lot, and I hope you have a good day.